So I'm Kim Brandy, and I'm the founder of Deadhead Rum. And I just want to thank everybody for taking part of your Sunday to join us today and learn about our rums. And I want to thank Angel for setting everything up here. And so I can tell you that we are a small little company, family run, and we're located in Temecula, California. It's where we import. We started Deadhead Rum about 10 years ago, and it's been a very crazy time for us over the last 10 years. We're celebrating our anniversary. We've grown from just beginning in California to being available in over 25 markets. So we're really proud of everything that we've done here. And I am more of the, well, I'm the creator and the founder, but I'm actually more of the marketer. I am not anybody that does the rum part. So if you have any questions about the marketing side for Deadhead Rum, I'm the person to talk to. But since we're here to do a tasting of these amazing rums, I have here with us today Eduardo Pineda, who is the third generation of the family owned and operated distillery located in Chiapas, Mexico. And he is the general manager. He's going to be talking about the rum. And also, I think Angel's going to put a little introductory video for an overview of the distillery so you can get some visuals.
That's right. So let's actually do that now. And you guys can kind of get a glimpse as to the origin of fantastic rum. So let me do some of this. Movie magic. We're going to play. Amazing. I have a bunch of questions around those bottles, but I won't interfere. I'll let you guys do your thing. And again, guys, you can ask any questions in the chat. I'll unmute you if you want to talk about the brand, and we're going to get into some tasting in a little bit. So all is well. Eduardo, you want to?
I'll take it from here. Hello, everyone. My name is Eduardo. You can call me Edward if that's easier. Forgive me, my first language is Spanish, not English. So if there's a word that sounds strange, that's why. So as Kim said, thank you for taking part of your Sunday for this tasting. We are rums from Mexico. We are the producers, the distillery that produces Deadhead Rum, which is the rum that we are going to try today. So before the tasting, the actual tasting, I wanted to talk a little bit about who we are, who's rum from Mexico, talk a little bit about rums. We not only produce Deadhead, we also produce other rums like Bonampak and Cozumel rum and other brands. So let's talk about a little bit about our rums, what we produce, and then we'll go into the tasting. We're going to try rums number 3 and number 4 today. Today is an award night. The Oscars are going to be given out today. So we are also going to try one of those. Our dark chocolate Deadhead Rum is an award-winning rum as well. So it was the best day to try Deadhead chocolate rum. It's an award day. So without further ado, let me talk a little bit about who we are. We're a distillery, a family-owned distillery, 3 generations. We were founded in 1948. So more than 72 years now. We are located in Tapachula, in the state of Chiapas, right in the southern point of Mexico, right about Guatemala. We're about half an hour from Guatemala. We have a great sugarcane here. You maybe heard, I don't know, maybe they're not so famous, Botran and Zacapa, they're very close by, hour and a half. So it's a very huge area for sugarcane. We're located here. I always say as a joke that when I was little, I crawled and tasted from the barrels. And now that I'm big, I taste from the barrels and start crawling. Rum has been part of my life, my whole life. And for me, as I have learned from my grandfather, my father, our master blender, Jorge, who apologizes, he's not here, he's traveling today. Rum, we think it's science, but also some magic. It's passion. As a family-owned distillery, you might imagine we're not huge, we're not big, so we really take care of our rums. We are really, I always remember, I don't know if you remember in the 80s, Hertz, the rental car company, their ad said, I think it was Hertz, we're not number one, but we're striving to be. It's kind of our case. We're not the biggest ones, but we're trying to have the best rums out there in the world. I'm going to talk about them a little bit in a while. Located in, we export to about 30 countries. We have about 21 expressions of rum. We age from up until 13, 14-year rums. We don't age more. I'll let you know in a bit why. So yeah, that's us. And let me talk about a little bit about our rums. Rums from Mexico, our distillery. I think, Angel, Kim, we're going to try Deadhead today. And in the next couple of sessions, we're going to try Cozumel rum and then Bonampak rum. So,
That's right.
We partnered with iconic brands, which markets and sells worldwide Deadhead Rum. And we've started working with them 6 years ago. But since 72 years ago, the main characteristics of our rums is that are 100% natural. We don't add additives. We don't add chemicals. We don't add caramel color. So you cannot be surprised if 2 years, 3 years after you try again Deadhead Rum or some of our rums and you say, oh, it's different color. What changed? It changed that we don't use caramel color. It changes that we do not use glycerin, any chemicals. We always say there's that when you try Deadhead, when you try Cozumel, when you try Bonampak, you don't have a hangover sensation the next morning. Maybe you're a bit thirsty, but no hangover. And if you don't have a hangover, you don't have a headache or a stomach ache because it doesn't have any additives. It doesn't have any chemicals. It's 100% natural. All of our rums are blended. There's a term that's being a little bit more popular with everyday single blended rums. So that's our rum. Single because it's a single distillery, and blended because with all of our rums, we use sugarcane juice that we distill in pot stills, and we use molasses that we ferment and then distill in a single column still. We usually, we actually use copper still that my grandfather brought from France, from Berbeck in about 1948, 49. We are changing that to acero inoxidable, stainless steel single column. We're going to keep the copper pipings, but we use right now still. So by using sugarcane juice and molasses, we feel that's what we want to give the rum world. The sugarcane juice distilled in pots we call here in Mexico aguardiente. Aguardiente is also a term used in Colombia, for example. And mainly what you have heard before for aguardiente would be rum agricole. So rum agricole, if you have tried, of course you have, has more congeners, more aromatic compounds, more esters. It's a heavier rum. So for us, it's very important that our rums have that characteristic, that they are neutral enough for you to taste them. You can have several cocktails or have several glasses of them, but not get your taste bud tired because of the heavy components of an agricole rum. So all of our rums have those blends, pot still and column still. we mature or age. Very important to mention, we're very hot, a very Caribbean-like climate. We have an average temperature yearly of about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. We have 80% humidity, so it's very hot, very humid. I always express a better way to understand aging, that when you are having a tea, a green tea, a black tea, whatever tea you like, you usually heat your water for about a minute, use your tea bag, and usually the extraction happens in about 1 minute, correct? It usually happens in a minute, minute and a half. But if you put that tea bag in cold water, the extraction is never, ever going to be the same as if hot water was used. And yes, you're going to have extraction, but not the same percentage as if you used cold water. So the same, I try to explain this because it happens with our aging. We age in a very hot climate. So some companies age in cold weather or colder weather, maybe in the mountains, to achieve less loss because of angel share. But it happens the same as a tea bag. If you age in a cold weather, the cells of the barrel are more closed, so it takes longer for the extraction to take place, different versus in hot weather. So we have a heavier extraction because of the weather and the humidity we have in our barrels. Very important to mention, many of you maybe know this. If not, please excuse me if you already know this. I'm going to repeat it for those who don't know it, but it's important to understand, I think, the aging process. So the barrels of oak have a lot of lignin. So oak has a lot of lignin. That's why it's so a very hard wood. And lignin is like the muscle of the barrel. And lignin, with alcoholysis, with alcohol inside, turns into an aldehyde, and it tastes like vanillin or vanilla. So when you're trying an aged rum and you feel the smell or the taste of vanilla, it's because of the lignin that the barrel has. And another part, hemicellulose, which is a component in the barrel, of the oak barrel, is a polysaccharide. It has glucose, fructose, etc. So it gives us that mellow, not sweet, but that mellow characteristic that rums have, is what makes them that they don't taste harsh. Very important to mention that when you taste a rum that has only a few years of aging, it's going to be a little bit bitter because of the tannins. But bitterness like cocoa beans, like coffee, like citrus peel, like cranberries. But when you have a rum that's being aged more years with tannin oxidation, we get more body, but also that bitterness becomes astringent. Pomegranate, turnips, unripe bananas. So it's very important when you come that if it's only a few years aged, it's going to be more bitter, and if it has more years, the bitterness it will become astringent. Our rums are. We do something that the industry doesn't do that much. The alcohol by volume in which we age is very important. We enter the barrel, the start of the aging, at 130 proof. Then our master blender finishes he takes out the rum, blends, and then comes down to 90 proof and then goes into the barrel again. It depends on the rum, but maybe for a year or a few years or 3 or 4 years. It depends on the rum. And why we do this, it's because we feel that at 130 proof, I always explain this like there's rock and roll inside the barrel. It's so high, the alcohol by volume, that rum is scratched inside the barrel, getting all those extracts from the wood out of the wood. But after you hear 4-6 hours of rock and roll, maybe you get tired a little bit of rock and roll. So at the end of the aging, we change classical music. So we changed to 90 proof because we feel that rum, after dancing rock and roll for a lot of years, needs to rest, needs to understand what he's doing or it's doing in the barrel, what rum has learned from wood for so many years inside the barrels. So, and we give time. It's like when you reach the middle of your life, you look back and said, what I have learned and what's there in the future. So we feel that's why we age with those alcohol by volume so different. We want rum to finish in classical music, but start rock and roll. We use ex-whiskey American oak barrels. Usually all of them, 95% from ex-whiskey from the US, Kentucky, Nebraska, etc. We only buy barrels that haven't include mesh that has corn. We try to avoid corn in the mesh from the barrels that we use again. But we also use Chiapas oak wood. We have found it's the same variety, it's Quercus alba, it's the same variety as American oak, but the oak that we grow here has more lignin, so it has more vanillin. So it gives us more smells like vanilla, like maybe almonds, nuts, etc. And very important also to mention that we do traditional aging, not solera. And I felt that that was important before we taste the 10-year to understand a little bit and to talk to you about what we do here at Rums from Mexico in Tapachula. So with further ado, if you like, we're going to start with the 10-year, the Deadhead 10-year. That Angel, I have not checked the chat. I don't know if there's a question that we should answer before the tasting.
Well, the only thing I would say is congrats to Julio and Cole. So they actually already purchased the bottle. So I'm going to put that link right here for everyone's benefit.
Thank you.
Again, you know, Rum Ratings brings you great deals in combination with the brands. I don't know, Julio, I'm going to actually ask you to unmute. Like, there we go. Can you unmute yourself? Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
Okay.
Like,
Good,
tell
good.
us
How
about
about
that
you?
process. You were like, I got to get this. I got to get all 3 bottles. What happened? What was running through your mind? Oh, you muted yourself again, man. It's 2021. Let me see. It's technology.
Hold on. No, I muted myself because my dogs are barking. So I was thinking of the one with the chocolate. That would be number 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the one with the chocolate is number 3. And
number 3. Okay, so we're going to do number 3 first. I was thinking, I've bought Salvaje. I don't know if you've run into Salvaje before.
Yep.
Which has a dark chocolate rum, and it's very, very good, just like that. It has a good smell to it and everything. I haven't tried it yet, but it's really, really good.
Thanks, buddy.
The smell, the bouquet of it is very good, very good.
That's good to hear. I mean, and it's awesome that the brand gets to hear directly from the consumer. Hey, let me
Definitely.
put you back. And again, guys, it's going to be number 4. So if you have a mini bottle with a number 4, that's the one that you want to drink right now. And Eduardo, all you.
Yes, thank you. So we're going to start with the 10-year anniversary edition. Usually the Deadhead rum that you see in the market, it's a 6-year-old rum average. It's 6-7 years, but this is a special edition. It's going to be on the market in June, right, Kim?
That's right.
It's going to be in the market in starting June. It's a special edition, 10-year anniversary edition of Deadhead. Quick note before we taste it. This is such a special edition rum. Let me tell you why. It's an ex-whiskey barrels, but our master blender did something extraordinary. He took staves from Chiapas oak barrel, a little bit smaller, and he introduced 3 staves of Chiapas oak inside the ex-whiskey. So when we received them and smoked them, he put 3 staves inside. So it's being able. So we'll see the characteristics. So we're going to try the 10-year special edition Deadhead, and that's number 3, Angel, or number 4, right? Number 4. Number 4, okay?
Number 4, guys.
So in the eye, naturally, you're going to see it's a very rich and intense mahogany. I think it's strict with little flashes. It attaches very good to the glass, so we know for sure that it's gonna have body because it attaches very good to the glass. On the nose, you're gonna feel like a whiskey style nose with stone fruit, maybe peaches, plum. Smells a little bit fruity. We have grain, little bit of maple syrup. You get the vanillin. It's very important to mention. It's not vanilla, it's vanillin. The element that we have that smells like vanilla, really it's vanillin. We have a little bit of, I don't know if you detected, cigar leaf, leather, naturally oak. It's very present, smoked oak. From the smell, I don't know if you agree, we know it's going to taste mellow, pleasant. From the smell, we know it's not going to be harsh, right? So we're going to try a little bit. And for me, wow, the palate opens seemingly mellow, but at the end, it's dry. It has a robust, full body. But at the very beginning, it's mellow, and then it turns dry. And that's because, remember what I said, that a bitterness becomes astringent. So Chiapas oak always give us a little bit of more bitterness than traditional American oak. So that's why we have the tannins that dry our mouth. But at the beginning, we have vanillin that gives us more mellow. It has structure. I think it's very balanced. It has a pecan drive, maybe nuts, almond. And on the finish, it has leather and oak, which gives us a rum with a lot of character. It has balance, I think. It has a lot of harmony. It has harmony between all of the taste buds. So it's balanced. You feel it at the beginning of the tongue, on the side, at the end. So it's mellow, and at the same time, it's a little bit like salty and bitter and astringent. So it's very round. And the long and the finish is very persistent. It has, I mean, what can I say? It's an amazing rum. I love it.
So I love posting also what you guys write in rumratings.com. So I actually put in the chat, it was posted 2 days ago from Excalibur 007, sorry. With 5 ratings, oak on the nose and taste of smokiness or char, really enjoyed this paired with a cigar. So, I mean.
Yes, the Chiapas oak is charred before we put the stakes inside the ex-whiskey American oak. So yeah, that's why he felt smoked and charred. For sure.
If anyone tasted chocolate, you were tasting the wrong one. Just a heads up. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but just in case. It's not that one. It's the other one.
So I don't know if anyone has any questions for this one. It's a 10-year, about 10 years and 6 months. So 10 years and a half. This one has about 5% of aguardiente. If you remember, what we call aguardiente here is sugarcane juice distilled in pot still. So rum agricole. So it has about 5%. So you would get that agricole feeling at the end of the mouth, of the tongue, sorry. Like it dances at the end. I love that. But it only has 5% so that the taste buds don't get tired of that amount of compounds, of aromatic compounds, of esters, etc.
And I have a question actually. Was this always like the plan, or did you say, oh, we're 10 years old, we should do something? Like, we had, I mean, was that always planned, like 5 years out?
No, actually it was planned to be 8-year-old rum. And we had a visit from Kim to the distillery. And she said, our 10th anniversary is coming. I really wish that we could have a special rum, especially for that date. She tried it and she said, that's the one I like. Let's wait 2 more years. And that's the one that Deadhead wants for an anniversary. So that's that. But it wasn't originally planned to be.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So any questions, or should we go to the next one?
No, on to the next one. And again, the
Yeah,
chat.
there's a question. There's a question, Angel, from, we can hear him.
Do you get your juice from Guatemala or there in Chiapas?
No, we grow our sugarcane for the sugarcane juice, and we buy molasses from this sugar mill that's about half an hour from Tapachula. There are two sugar mills in Chiapas, one in the center of the state, Pujiltic, and another one close by, and that's the name of the cities. And originally, we started as the second sugar mill in the state of Chiapas. We started as a sugar mill. And in the 70s, the sugar mill part was dismantled and sent to Pujiltic, and we only stayed with the production, this fermentation, distillation, and aging. So we do our own juice and we buy molasses.
Oh, he jumped the gun. He asked the question I wanted to know. Tell us the story about the bottles. I mean, we have to know.
Kim, that's your
Yeah.
department.
Let me bring in Kim here.
The bottles. So the bottles really represent this region of Mexico. And if you're familiar with the Mayas and also the Javaro tribes, they would seek blood revenge on anyone that went after their family or hurt any of their tribe. And so they felt like if they took your head, that's where your spirit was kept, in the head. And it was also, you would take the power. So that was originally where we were with the shrunken head. But then meeting Eduardo's family and just talking, come to find out that it was also the Mayas, they decapitated the victims that they sacrificed to the gods. And so it was part of that area of Chiapas, part of the history as well. Another thing that I found out later on, we expanded to a chocolate rum, was right in Chiapas is where they have, is it Tuxtla Chica, the area? Where they have all of the...
Izapa. Izapa is the name of the archaeological site.
Izapa, but where all of the cacao trees. Yes. So so just in researching how chocolate was discovered in Mexico, and it's Mexico's gift to the world, chocolate. There's a connection with the monkey. So now this is going over to the little monkey head. So there's a connection with the monkeys in many, many ways. One of them is that they say there wouldn't be chocolate without monkeys, because they go and they eat all of the sweet, flesh from the cacao pods, and they discard the seeds, and that helps to propagate the cacao trees. That's one thing. Also, the Mayan calendar shows the little Ozomatli, the little monkey, juxtaposed with the cacao pods. Cacao was, in very ancient times for the Maya, it was so valuable. It was what they used as currency at that time. So there, and then again, going back to some of the rituals where the heads of the victims were decapitated, they were given a chocolate drink. It's, a sacrificial chocolate drink. Now, this is what I've read. I mean, I wasn't there, but our packaging represents, it's like, it tells the story and connects us to this area of Chiapas in southern Mexico.
And also, Kim, just to add on top of that, some people might think that when Mayans or when they did this and took the brain out and kept the heads, that it was something related to dominance, right? Like I dominate, I dominate and I keep your head. But it's the other way around. It was in order to give them tribute, to always be present. And they closed the mouth and the nose and the eyes so that the spirit wouldn't come out at night. So it's something like a tribute, like you will always be present for me because you were a very, I don't know, a very good adversary. So it's like a tribute for your adversary to keep their heads.
Right.
Hopefully, or we don't do it right now here in Chiapas, but it was a millenary tradition from the Mayans.
Yep.
So it's funny. I'm actually looking for reviews on rumratings.com. There's a bunch, but they're all from Belgium. Like I don't know. I guess they love their chocolate. You know, I don't know Belgium, so I can't translate it. But I'll post this one from the UK. And it was, you know, I wish it was a little bit more about the tasting notes, but he said, "This is gorgeous as far as I'm concerned. Wonderful chocolate aroma and finish." If someone knows Belgium, I guess Google Translate a little bit later. We'll find out what they were talking about. But that's awesome learning about the bottle.
Yeah.
And someone is asking if we use used oak barrels or unused. We use them used. We use just pre-emptied, recently emptied American ex-whiskey oak barrels, but they have to not contain corn in the mesh. We don't like that taste in our rums. Okay, any more questions? Should we move on to the chocolate one? Okay. So regarding the next one, a little bit of history that Kim already mentioned, but just to complete what Kim said, cacao bean, or the cacao fruit where chocolate comes from, actually was discovered first in a town that it's about 15 minutes from where the distillery is, in Tuxtla Chico. And that's why Kim says it's a gift from Chiapas to the world. Actually, Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra, the writer of Don Quixote, cacao was only for the priests, only for the emperors. It was a very, very special drink. Not anyone could have it. So when the Spaniards came to Mexico, they found out that the Mayans used cocoa beans even as money for changing as money. So it was very, very expensive, and it had a lot of value. So Miguel de Cervantes asked Philip II of Spain at that time that if he could by any chance be the governor of Chiapas, because of the richness of cacao. They said, no, you cannot be governor. So he said, well, that's a bummer. He went back to Spain and wrote Don Quixote. So it's a good thing that he didn't get to be governor of this land. But the sacred book, maybe you have heard of it, and it's the book of creation. Originally thought that the gods tried to make humans from mud, but that wasn't possible. So they changed the recipe and started to use wood. And from wood is that we have the human being. But in the intent between mud and wood, monkeys were created. And the gods of the skies and of the ocean came together and gave the world a lot of trees and the skies and water and rivers and cacao bean. And thanks to the monkeys, as Kim said, is that we were able to discover the cacao bean and use it for chocolate. For the chocolate rum that we're going to try, this is the award-winning rum, dark chocolate Deadhead Rum. It's a white rum that we rest from 30 to 40 days. Important to rest it, yes, because remember that we blended with aguardiente and with column still. So we want both to blend correctly and to rest together to get to know each other. So we rest that white rum, then blend with a natural cacao bean extract. So we break the cacao beans, we mix with alcohol, we make the natural extract, we filter, we let to rest for about 20 days, 25 days, and then we blend with the white rum and age for 3 years. So what you're gonna have here is it was very, very, very important for iconic brands, for Kim. When we started working on this project, she said, I don't want a chocolate liquor. I want a chocolate rum, a cacao bean rum. So it has to have rum in it. to taste like rum, that has oak and that rum-like taste. So what you're going to have is that let's try it, and you'll know what I mean. So on the eye, you're going to see dark amber. Again, we don't artificially color the rums. We don't add any color. On the nose, you're going to have vanillin, a little bit of butterscotch. Naturally, chocolate is present, but I feel versus when you taste it, the chocolate is present in the nose, but it's a little bit restrained because it smells like cacao bean extract, not milk chocolate. So you're also going to have oak. You're also going to have wood, not only chocolate. It maybe has, for some of you, a hint of coffee, maybe dried nuts. So when we smell it, we know it's going to be mellow. But I always say that you're going to right now at the end of the cup, after the mellowness of the chocolate, it's a little bit bitter. Maybe you can find traces of cherry, of plum. It's a little bit bitter because cacao bean extract is bitter. That's why. So let's try it and then the mouth. Naturally, the chocolate flavor comes to the forefront on the first sip. It's right there. It's chocolate. But again, please correct me if I'm wrong. It's layered like with a back note of cherry, of cream soda, but it's also rum, right? That it's aged. And again, it's dry. Remember the other rum that we tried? It's dry because it's 3 years in the barrel. It's full-bodied, light cocoa, dried nuts, a little bit of vanilla. It's a warm, long, lingering finish. At the same time, it's bitter, but it's astringent. You drink this rum? A quick question for everyone, if you can put it in the chat. How would you drink this dark chocolate? Let me check the questions. What percent of cacao do you use for the chocolate? It's delicious, smooth, and good. Thank you. Yeah, it's not overwhelming. What percentage? The cacao bean extract is about 5 to 7% of the rum. That's the only percentage that we use because of the bitterness of the cacao bean. Desert rum after a nice meal. What else? I try this rum with a lot of things. Vanilla ice cream, it's great. With you're really not going to believe me, but please try it with Coca-Cola. It's amazing. Why? Because one of the main ingredients of Coca-Cola, it's vanilla, and it has vanillin because of the cacao bean and the barrel. So with Coca-Cola, with what else? Dr. Pepper would be great because of that butterscotch feel. Naturally alone, it's amazing. Cherry Coke, of course. With I don't know if you can help me, Angel, what the panque would be in English.
Which one?
Panque.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I don't know.
No, is that like Malta?
Well, any kind of bread that you like. Twinkies. It's great with Twinkies. Try it with Twinkies. Just a little bit of on top of the Twinkie. It's amazing with anything. And again, I always repeat this because it's very what we want for you to try with this dark chocolate rum is a rum. It's not a chocolate liquor that we find that a lot of companies that chocolate, pineapple, coffee, etc. It's very artificial. It's chemical. This is a natural cacao bean extract. So we try to make sure that it tastes like rum.
Thanks
Pound cake.
That's
correct.
Pound cake. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Pound cake.
I'm embarrassed for my bilinguality.
So that's Deadhead dark chocolate, and that's it for us. I don't know if you have any questions.
I think there was one here. I think they put private instead of public. How are you getting bourbon barrels that don't use corn in the mash?
It's not, I don't know the correct term or the term in English. We just ask the barrel brokers or some whiskey producers. They use, I forget the term in English, rye whiskey. Some of them we ask for rye whiskey, especially, and we ask. It's important that on the barrels that we buy, they have not contained any corn inside them. For us, it's important. We don't. Our master blender Jorge doesn't like that flavor in the rums. He feels I don't know. He doesn't like it.
Perfect. Well, I guess guys and girls, like if there's any questions, let us know. I can't, say thank you enough. I'm gonna post the link one more time. We had a couple other bottles that were sold as well. This is something that the brand is partnering with us and really wants to get those bottles in your hands. I already have mine on the way as well. They'll go out with your kit once they get ordered. And again, thanks again for the time. Eduardo, direct from, are you currently in Chiapas right now? Like
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. I'm in Tapachula. Yeah.
that's great. And we want to say, and let me actually bring Kim up here. So we want to thank Kim and Eduardo because the rum cake that you also had was thanks to them. It was actually 100% their idea.
From Cozumel.
Yeah, and they were kind of like, yeah, we should include Mexican rum cake. I'm like, of course. Oh, there it is. Here's Julio sponsoring it. Let me put you there. But yeah, again, thank you so much for the time.
So
And very
we're going to
important-
see you, right? Are you going to talk about the upcoming days,
Yes.
Eduardo?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, very important to let you know, we're open to the public. We're an open distillery. Again, we're 100% natural. We don't have anything to hide. It's an open distillery. Whenever you're in Chiapas, please come by, visit us. We have a hands-on, sometimes distillery. So whenever you're in Chiapas, you're welcome here in Tapachula to the distillery.
So I use this rum with my pork tenderloin and any kind of mole. This flavor is amazing and so different.
Delicious, delicious.
Yes, with mole, because mole has chocolate. Yeah, with whatever. Yeah, really good.
That makes sense. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna see Eduardo and Kim on the next one, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank
care, guys.
you.
Thank you, everyone.